Hi and welcome to Dewdrops. Boy, do we have a fun video today. It is jam-packed. There are lots of steps, but they are fun steps. You'll be able to make all these pieces. What I'm doing today is starting out with 5mm flat wire. I'm trying it actually for the first time. I decided give me more room to do more. So I'm trying it today. So what I'm doing is making it into a teardrop shape. And I'm going to cut the wire so that it is even. And I cut it that way so that I know that it goes the right direction too. It lays nicely. Now I'm going to start making my bail. And I just wrap it around 1.5 to 2 times itself. And then I put it aside until I need it later. We are going to use resin tape today for a lot of different things. This stuff can be your best friend, let me tell you. We are putting our bail on there and I'm going to secure it on real good. And I'm also going to be making our insert wires. What we're doing is we're just making more teardrops. That's it. And we're going to make different sizes. And they don't have to be perfectly even or symmetrical. You're just going to be cutting them in half. So I make 2 to 3 of the larger ones. Actually make another. I only made 2 and I ended up having to make another one. So I would make 3 larger ones and then each one of the smaller ones. And that's about all you should need to be able to make this piece. You might need to add more. It just depends on the look that you want. So again, you just put it on your bail maker, wrap it around. And this piece you don't have to really cut. You just have to kind of make it even because it was a very small one. Now I'm cutting them all in half. And that's a pretty simple task right there. It's just getting them done. They're not hard. It's just getting them done. Once you get them all done, the framework comes together very, very quickly. And I like to do my teardrops upside down. What I am making is a flower, as you know. And so I want to make sure my flower has life to it, has lift. So everything I do is going out and up. I love having the tape as I'm designing because your wire will stick to the tape and not move all over the place. And then if you want to move something, you don't have to worry about the resin being stuck too much and things being stuck to each other. So this makes it really nice to be able to manipulate your pattern. You will notice as I do each section here, I build up on it. I don't necessarily always go down to the bottom because you can fill that in. And that's what I like to do. I like to fill it in instead of worrying about trying to take all my pieces down there. And a lot of times I just use little leftover pieces to fill in those areas. We are almost done with what I call the plant, and this is the area that I was talking about filling in. I'm checking to see how that wire is going to fit and what I need to cut off. So I kind of just put it in there and see how it fits in there, and if I'm satisfied, I move on to my next piece. I'm just cutting the bend off of it, and this piece I'm straightening the bend because I needed a straighter piece. And then we have one little spot there that I have a little tiny leftover that I slip right on in there. It just finishes it more. Now we are going to do our zigzag pattern, and we're going to put this aside after we cut it in half, but this will be our little tendrils that'll come down from the flower. Now we are going to heat our resin to make sure there's no bubbles. And once we heat this resin, you'd be amazed. I have not had a bubble issue at all. So I'm just coating it enough to be able to cover my wire. But not, I don't want it smooth. I want some texture still there. Because this is the front of your piece. So you need to be able to have room to build. Now we're going to make the petals for the flower. And all I'm doing is using a very small round nose. And I'm doing the same exact thing I did when we were making the inserts for the inside of the piece with the wires. It's the same exact thing. The only difference is you got to make sure that the ends are even. And you're going to make 5 of those. And then we're going to put them on resin tape. Once we are done getting them onto the tape, we're going to use the High Viscosity by Let's Resin, and we are going to put it into each one of those petals. The first layer is always going to be a flat layer, and that's the reason why I like to thin my resin out at first. It goes back to its original consistency once it cools. I put probably 2 to 3 layers of resin after my first one to make sure that it's well domed. Then after that, we are going to put just a little bit of resin on there, cure it for about 5 or 10 seconds, and add our color. And we are using Rose Red. What a surprise. Perfect name. It is by Let's Resin, their chrome powders. I love their products. They're just so much fun. Now we're going to coat it with resin and then cure it. And we're going to put it aside for a few moments because we need to flip our piece over on the tape. And the tape there is basically just to secure it. And we're going to add our gilding adhesive. I love this new gel medium. You can build it. While we are letting it dry, we are going to be making our center for our flower. All I did was use a 10 millimeter jump ring and fill it the same exact way I did the petals. And now I'm adding the green to it, covering with a little bit of resin, curing it. And now, once the gilding paste is dried, we are going to be adding our Chameleon flakes, my favorite part. I have put the order of what I'm using on there. You will notice that I will go from our more subtle colors to our stronger colors for the complete outside rim of the piece. And you don't need to use a lot, but at times you need to do some filling in, so don't be afraid to use what you've got there. Then we're tamping it in, and we're gonna burnish it. And I love doing this on a paper towel or a wet baby wipe. It stops the static electricity from being so bad because you know they go every place. Now we're going to cover it with resin and cure it. And then we're going to put another layer of resin on there, a very thin one, and cure that for about 10 to 15 seconds. And then we're going to add our backing. I'm using just plain black mica powder. It has a no-name brand. I don't even know where I got it, but any mica powder would do. Once we have that done, we're going to add some resin to the back. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to see the front. It's gonna, oh my goodness, there it is. Look at that. It's like a porcelain picture. I don't know, I just think it's gorgeous. Now we are being very careful adding the resin. You will notice that I am, moving it around. And to me, I just love doing that because it's very satisfying. So we're going to put our flower together now. This piece just makes me smile. I love the colors. I love the feel of it. And we're just going to put our petals all the way around. And then we're going to cure it in. When you put your petals and stuff in there, make sure you cover them with resin before you do that. Now here's that zigzag pattern wire that we did, and these are the little tendrils that we're putting in there. And you could just kind of bend them to the direction that you like them. And, you cut them, nip off edges, and you just figure out how you want it to fit in there. And each time is a little different. It's never the same. So I'm always having to figure out how I want things to fit in. Gonna add a little resin and cure it. Now we're gonna pour on more resin. And we got to make sure that we do not create bubbles. And we're going to add another layer of resin and fill it up pretty flat. We're not going to dome it yet. We're going to be adding our bail onto the back now. This is the bail that we made. And you can cut it off to the length that you like it, where you feel it's secure. I like to do a short shank on it. And I do it backwards, yes. Everybody turns their stuff upside down. I don't do that because I am very particular about where I want my bail to be. So I secure it on the front like that, and then I flip it over and secure it completely on the back. Then I have no doubt where it's at. So I'm just going to add resin to it. I do add a thicker amount of resin towards where the bail's at, and that just secures it in that way. Now we're going to add high viscosity resin to the front and dome it. Wait till you see this piece completely done. It is absolutely stunning. It was so much fun to make. I sure hope you enjoyed yourself. Please subscribe and like. And I will see you soon.